Okay. All right, we'll call to order the regular business meeting of the Board of Education for Monday, July 27th to order. If I could ask everyone to stand and please recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, please.
Stephen Arthur.
Here.
Jim Batson.
Here.
Pat Rudy.
Here.
Scott Luce. Karen Lundstedt. Ellen Mauer.
Okay, so we know Scott Luce, Karen Lundstedt, Ellen Mauer are absent for the record. Our agenda this evening, in the President's report, we will swear in our newly appointed board member, Alex Delapoli. We'll have a superintendent's report. We'll open it up for public comment. We will approve the consent or vote on the consent vote agenda. Updates from program and personnel and facilities and finance. Stephen, nothing from property tonight, right? Nothing from CEDO, I don't believe. And then nothing on the Illinois Association of School Boards, okay? We do have an executive session scheduled. However, if we agree that there are no minutes to, if all the minutes are supposed to remain closed, we can actually take care of that in this meeting. Is that correct?
Correct, that is correct.
And we will do that under the consent vote? Yes? Or do we have to
No.
do a separate action item for that?
Would be separate for the
So
meeting
we'll do
minutes, yeah.
Superintendent's report.
Yeah.
All right,
it'll be
we'll do
under
that
the
separate.
superintendent's
Okay,
report.
all right. Does anybody see a need to have a executive session on that?
No.
No? Okay, all right, so we'll take care of that in superintendents. All right, good?
May I ask a question,
Yes.
President Rudy?
Yes.
The board has already voted to appoint Mr. Delapoli as,
Yes.
Yes, we did.
okay. So he's already been appointed, it's just an oath of office.
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
I just want to make that clear for the record so that the meeting can go forward with a quorum.
Okay, good job.
That's correct.
All right, and before we go, Jim, will you be secretary for the time?
Yes, I will.
Okay. All right, so we will swear in Alex. And that vote took place, I believe, in the last board meeting. Is that correct? Or was it 2
May.
meetings ago? May, okay, yeah.
June? June.
It's June.
June,
June.
so it was the last one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Right.
All right. So Alex, repeat after me.
Now, do I need to raise a hand or anything, or say something appropriate?
It was
Repeat.
right.
You're right.
My right hand, correct? Okay.
All right. I, Alexander Delapoli Jr.,
I, Alexander Delapoli Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of Community High School District 128
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of School District, Community High School District 128
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the laws of the State of Illinois to the best of my ability.
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the laws of the State of Illinois to the best of my ability.
I further swear that
I further swear that
I shall respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets.
I shall respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets.
I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board while respecting the privacy of students and employees.
I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board while respecting the privacy of students and employees.
I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting.
I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting.
And I shall abide by majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels.
And I shall abide by majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels.
Okay, well done. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, that's all I had.
Okay, we have some good news even in the middle of the summer, as always, at 128. First of all, Libertyville High School and Vernon Hills High School have been ranked 14th and 34th respectively among the nation's more than 21,000 public high schools in the 2015 Best High School Rankings by bestcolleges.com. We have shared that information with our villages as well as our feeder school districts who have had the opportunity to compliment their staffs for providing us such well-prepared students at the high school level. And of course, congratulations to John and Marina, their administrators, teachers, and support staff, and to our communities for their continued support of what we believe are the best high schools in the country. District 128 students earned a number of national honors at the FBLA competition held June 29th to July 2nd. In Chicago, 18 members of the VHHS FBLA club and 7 members of the Libertyville High School Club qualified for national competition. VHHS team members brought home first and second place honors in the following categories. First place in Nation Emerging Business Issues, Oliver Leon, Michael Kokenis, and Derek Jean. In second place in Nation Business Ethics, Aparajita, Adaraju, Ashwini Deshpande, and Pavani Pandarata. The VHHS FBLA team is sponsored by Diane Phillips. The LHS team of Alec Krakowski, Sam Gold, and Grant Dean captured third place honors in entrepreneurship, while Katie Verba placed in the top 15 for her event social media campaign. The LHS FBLA team is sponsored by Loretta O'Day and Kristen Connolly. District 128 students who also qualified and participated in the national competition were from VHHS Julie Yoon, Christine Sai, Justin Yum, Noah Cho, Alex Lau, Aditya Alluri, Subham Patel, Andrea Lum, Vabhav Shastri, Aiden Kang, Akash Sethi, and Kit Angrawal. From LHS, Michael Watson, Owen Hassler, and Amanda Fan. LHS sophomore Laura Zing won 5 gold medals at the 2015 Pan American Games. Laura earned gold in every rhythmic gymnastics event in which she competed, and at last report she earned more gold than any athlete at the competition.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing. 10 VHHS staff members and students are en route to Kapeka, Uganda. The team left Vernon Hills this afternoon and will return August 5th. While in Uganda, the VHHS team will visit and work at the Cove Alliance School. Since 2008, VHHS students and staff have sponsored fundraisers to help build and continue to support the Cove School. This year's Uganda team includes English teacher Avelino Cortez, social worker Amy Escrivel, retired VHHS principal Ellen Swick, physical welfare teacher Jerry Maselli, library media specialist Monica Tolva, seniors Emily Fagel and Aubrey Black, and juniors Ellery London, Shane Williamson, and Matt Grammons. On July 4th, District 128 administrators and student host families welcomed 9 Chinese students and their teachers to America. The students and teachers were in D128 until today as part of the Chinese American High School Students 2015 summer camp. In addition to experiencing life with a local host family, the visitors toured Chicago and surrounding areas. A special thanks to all District 128 families and teachers who made this experience possible for our guests, and to Marina and Al, who led several of the events that the students were involved in. District 128 Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Rita Fisher, and Communications Director, Mary Todrick, were selected as presenters for the annual seminar of the National School Public Relations Association, held in Nashville earlier this month. Their presentation was titled Mission Statement CPR, Cornerstone, Priority, Redo. So thanks to Mary and Rita for their continued work in that. So lots of great things going on in the summer. Next on the superintendent's report, we'd like to acknowledge a donation from Mr. and Mrs. Larry Bober. They donated a 2000 Lexus ES300 automobile to Vernon Hills to be used in the automotive technology classes. So we want to thank them for that very generous donation. As Pat noted earlier, twice a year we do a thorough review of semi-annual review of the closed session minutes. At this point, after review, we're not recommending any release of the minutes at this point. If the board concurs with that recommendation, then there will be no need for an executive session to discuss the matter further and then possibly take action after that. So our recommendation is to keep all the minutes closed at this point. So we'll need a motion to that end.
I move to keep the closed session minutes confidential at this point.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Arthur,
Aye.
Batson.
Aye.
Delli Polly.
Aye.
Grudy.
Aye. All right, motion carries.
Okay, and Pat, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Okay. Any highlights from your presentation? If you don't mind.
It was kind of a different twist for the NSPA conference, is what Mary said.
It was because primarily the conference is attended by communications directors, so it was nice to be able to put a curriculum sort of twist on things and focus on our students that were involved in the redesign of
Good, great.
mission.
And what would our Chinese guests have marked on while they were there? What were the highlights of their summer?
Well, they went to I asked the kids, some of the places the families took them. They went to Great America, the Cubs game. We took them downtown to Willis Tower, and we gave them a tour of IMC Financial Markets, and they spoke with some representatives there, and then we took them on the architectural tour. And Al took them to University of Wisconsin-Madison, and you want to share?
Took them to Madison, Madison campus as well as the Baraboo campus. University of Wisconsin has a program where students can be admitted to one of the two-year institutions and then transfer to Madison. And that's a program for international students. And then we took them to Devil's Lake and let them climb rocks for a little bit. So.
Great. All right, that's awesome.
When you ask the kids, is this what you expect of the United States? And they said, not exactly.
They said not exactly?
Yeah, they said they expected, and the teachers too, everything to look like downtown Chicago, like big buildings and congested, and they're just the space we have here, you know, just the way we live in our homes. And then just going through the community in the daytime, they're like, where is everybody? We're like, well, they're working, or they're in their homes, and it's just I thought that was kind of funny. It's a weird feel for them.
It's only 350 million of us.
Yeah, yeah. So that was their expectation.
And these students were from
They were from
Chengdu?
the school.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
school we were at. Yeah, in fact, the
So-
family I stayed with, the student came, so that was kind of fun to see him
That's
again.
cool.
Yeah, so there's some connection.
So had you seen that student before when you were over there?
Yeah, I stayed with his
Yeah.
family.
Great.
So his mom, he and his mom came.
I think the whole connection is awesome.
I thought Lily did a really nice job, having been around the kids a couple times. She did a really nice job in connecting personalities with the kids.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if she paid attention to that from knowing or getting some information, but I just thought it was too coincidental to have that many good connections like that.
Oh, that's
It worked
great.
out well.
Okay,
Well,
fantastic.
there were 30 people that applied for 9 positions, so she interviewed each one of them and selected them. So it was a privilege to come.
Great. Okay. Anybody from the public would like to speak? No? Okay. All right, consent vote agenda is listed. We reviewed it earlier this evening in committee. I'd ask for motion to approve it as listed.
Move to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Batson.
Aye.
Delli Polly.
Aye.
Grudy.
Aye.
Arthur.
Aye.
Excuse me, all right, motion carries. Let's see, Jim, on what's the year, do you want to do that? Or
There's two quick items on the Program and Personnel Committee, which was actually held earlier this evening. First is a first reading of 2 board policies. Policy 2:250, access to district public records, and policy 5:290, employment termination and suspensions. And these are both adjustments to existing policies that will be, we're just observing them here as a first reading. They'll be coming up for a second reading again in August for our review and to vote into policy. So, anything else we need? Anyone has any comments or questions? And the second item is, there's 3 educational tour requests. The Libertyville High School Jazz Strings Retreat in Schaumburg, the Vernon Hills High School Chamber Choir Retreat in Fredonia, Wisconsin, and Libertyville High School's Drops of Ink, the NSPA Journalism Convention down in Orlando, Florida. So I guess we need a motion and a second for the tour requests.
I move that we accept the educational tours as presented.
Second.
Okay. Roll call.
Delli Polly?
Aye.
Grudy?
Aye.
Arthur?
Aye.
Batson?
Aye. So that passes. Move on to Facilities and Finance?
Yep.
Okay, I'm on a roll here. Facilities and Finance Committee, we had a few items here. The tax levy calendar for 2015. Is there a couple of comments you'd like to make?
Sure. This evening, we reviewed the levy calendar for the tax year 2015. We've had discussions on the levy as well as any future extension amounts as they relate to our budget. The levy calendar shared with you this evening will have us adopting the final levy in November of 2015. And as discussed at the committee meetings, we'll have further discussions for the next few months on that.
And then the second item here is a tentative budget to go on display for public comment and for review for the FY 2016.
Correct. Over the past 2 weeks, we've had discussions on the tentative budget for FY16, as well as provided the board with additional information this evening, and some recommendations as to how future budgets should be developed, as well as the current budget. So this time, as you stated, we have the budget on display for a budget hearing on August 10th, and final approval at the board meeting in August.
And we won't have any further discussions between now and then, actually, right? So the next time we'll...
Next time we'll
Right.
discuss
At the
is August
committee meeting,
10th.
we'll give you some more information on it.
Okay.
And yes, it's just at a tentative budget.
Correct. Tonight is the tentative budget.
That's the same night as the hearing, though, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So which one goes first?
I believe the hearing is at 6 o'clock, followed by the F&F committee, so we could have our discussions at the hearing too.
Okay.
And it should be noted that we had a 3.5-hour meeting last Tuesday, on the budget. Over the past 5 or 6 years, we have taken the time in summer to have a meeting to just focus on the budget and then talk about associated issues with the tax levy. A couple of compelling issues that the board talked about was there is uncertainty right now what the state budget looks like, and some associated actions that the state might take that can have an impact on local public schools. Those things are unknown right now, so the board developed 4 scenarios regarding the tax levy and also abatements, as we've been abating over the last few years in bond and interest. And we will continue to review what is going on with the state in terms of the options with the tax levy. And we'll also consider large capital planning that we've talked about extensively over the last year in the district as part of that discussion moving forward over the next couple of months in terms of making a final tax levy decision for this year. Did I miss anything there?
That's good.
So we just want the public to know that we, the board and the administration on behalf of the staff here, take the budget process very seriously. We continue to spend the majority of the board's time in the financial area. We do like to take times like last week to just take the budget as the sole issue and dig very, very deeply into that. Stan, go ahead.
Yeah, so just to be clear though, in the hearing, which is before our next discussion on the budget you'll present in the hearing, is it the one we reviewed last week?
Correct.
There's some things on there that we asked you to look into, but I assume so you'll present the budget as we reviewed it, then we'll listen to discussion, then we'll have further discussion
Correct.
on the budget.
Right.
based on the
Before
input.
comments from the public, if any, at a hearing, we will have a presentation on the
Yeah.
budget.
But
so
what you're
that-
going to present is what we reviewed already.
That is correct,
And
unless-
there were some things in there that we said, hey, we want to take further.
Right, and I'm going to provide you with additional information at the FNF committee.
So those adjustments, Yaz, any adjustments that we're making to the budget
Yes.
as a result of the conversation we've had with the board and/or the public comments will be reflected in the tentative budget that we put up?
Or not until the FNF meeting.
Right, but after that, it will be the final budget that will reflect the changes or changes, or deletions, or additions that we'll make to the budget.
Okay.
Okay,
I
which
just
will
wanted
be
to
the
be
final
clear on
budget.
that if they see the same budget, the adjustments, some of the
Right.
adjustments that we talked about, sharpening our pencil and going back and
Right.
getting more information or doing reductions will not be reflected in that initial budget, correct?
Right.
Until we go back and have further discussion, and then we'll make
That
those,
is correct.
we'll make the adjustments that we're working on right now.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, in
Okay.
essence, we're going to take the feedback from our last meeting.
Yes.
Mhm.
And any public feedback.
Correct.
And then come back to FNF and discuss it.
Right, and that is
Which is fine.
that's the
That's good.
purpose of the public
Yeah.
hearing.
Okay. Although I guess the public should know that it's not necessary, we're not presenting to them a final budget, it's
No.
just sort of
It's a
as of
discussion budget.
that point in time.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, good.
So we need a motion and a second for the, to approve the tentative budget.
So moved?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion or comments? Okay, Can we have a roll call, please?
Grudy,
Aye.
Arthur,
Aye.
Batson,
Aye.
Delli Polly.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. We have, next on the agenda is the rental labor rates for 2016. So we're setting our new labor rates for rental when people rent our facilities. Any further information?
This is just reflective of the adjustments that were made to individual compensation and the hourly rate for those services. So you see the 2015 rates as well as the 2016 rates, and obviously we'll be using the 2016 rates for any rentals this fiscal year.
Okay. So we need a motion and a second for this one?
Correct.
I move that we adopt the rental labor rates for fiscal year 2016 as presented.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion or comments? We have a roll call, please.
Arthur,
Aye.
Batson,
Aye.
Delli Polly.
Aye.
Grudy.
Aye.
And that motion passes. We have a bid recommendation for special services taxi transportation for both FY16 and 17, a 2-year contract.
We received 4 bids, 2 were partial bids, so those were not considered in our recommendation review. We are recommending the bid be awarded to City Care for fiscal year 16 and 17. They are a current provider also. And after your approval this evening, I will be meeting with representatives from City Care to go over some of the routes and see if we can adjust some rates to reflect our current needs.
Okay. So we'll need a motion and a second for this one.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, any further comments, discussion? Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Batson,
Aye.
Delli Polly.
Aye.
Grudy.
Aye.
Arthur.
Aye.
And one last item on the facilities and finance is the Brainerd site development, which we discussed earlier in Facilities and Finance Committee meeting.
Just as a review and for the public again, once we get through the process, the bid process, and we actually move the site development process along, the board will be having discussion about the level of funding for an appropriate memorial at the Brainerd site in memory of the original Brainerd building and the Jackson Gym. But our commitment has been to move the Brainerd site development forward first, and we're in the midst of developing the bids for that project, and as soon as we get that moving forward, then the board will have that discussion. So we want to reiterate again that the board has been, continues to be committed to having, a nice memorial on that property, but one that's also reasonable in price and fair to the taxpayers in the district as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna put that on the F&F committee meeting then, next time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep it on.
Let's come to agreement on price, and then maybe any, I'll call them, I don't know, key criteria that I think, if we want that
Location, whatever.
memorial to incorporate one or more elements of the Brainerd building that we saved, or whatever it is. Maybe we can come up with a list of 3 to 5 things that need to be included in that.
Bid opening is Thursday afternoon
That's for the site.
for the site
Yeah.
work.
Okay. That would be interesting.
And obviously you will approve it on the 10th, hopefully.
On the, no, not on the 10th, we'll review it. We're gonna
No,
have a
you're right.
special meeting to
It's
approve that.
better.
But yeah, okay.
So we can get it moving.
Okay.
And the reason for the timing on
Yeah,
that
that's fine.
again is
We
we
wanna-
want to
we need
have
to
the,
get going.
we want to have the project
Yeah.
done before we get into the winter season, so when the weather breaks in March, we're able to use that immediately.
How many bids we have, do you know? Or-
We had 10 companies. 10 companies come to the pre-bid meeting last week.
Yeah.
After the walkthrough, you don't know how many are going to. But the good thing was, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, we had some real fine contractors
That's good.
show up for that.
That's good. And I still say, every time I take Lauren to the train station in the morning, it's just so nice to see the church and the property. It's a totally different view. And I think it's gonna look good once the field is in there. I keep imagining the fence, but I think it's gonna look nice. I never realized how many of those fences are around, actually. And they all look good. So,
Okay.
all right.
And any other that anyone has for the agenda? Otherwise, that completes the facilities and finance.
Okay, no property, no CEDO, no IA has.
Oh, there is one quick CEDAL update that Karen Lundstedt shared earlier, and that is, we've been notified that an elementary district may be considering pulling out of CEDAL in the near future. So as that develops, Karen and I will be sharing more information with the board, not only the name of the district, but also the potential impact to CEDAL. For the public, CEDAL is a cooperative that allows districts to pool resources to serve the needs of our special education students in Lake County. And over the last few years, we've had a consortium of schools in the kind of the Stevenson High School District and their related districts, and Lake Zurich School District has removed themselves from CEDAL. So each one of those removals has some impact, not only on cost, but more importantly on potential delivery of services. So we'll monitor that closely, and we'll get more information on that and report out on that, and I'm sure in the coming months.
Okay. I forgot if we had talked about that last week. Okay, anything else? All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks.
Okay.